Hey everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome to Azure Flash News, episode 99.
Right on. Welcome everybody. It's great to be back on the mic, be back on the air, and having the 99th podcast, just one shy of the big 100 milestone, which is exciting.
That is right. It is really great to have everybody here. We are so close to getting to that milestone, that big century milestone. Can't wait. Tune in next week to see what sort of crazy thing happens. Probably nothing crazy, but that's okay.
Well, you never know.
We'll probably talk about some Azure stuff.
Of course. Well, yeah, but maybe or maybe not. But today is the 23rd, right? Friday the 23rd.
That's right. Of October 2020.
Yep, that's right, 2020.
Yeah.
Got some big stuff coming up, got some big stuff behind us. I celebrated a milestone, well, not a milestone, I guess. I celebrated a birthday last weekend.
Happy birthday, Rick.
I turned 47, which is really kind of getting scary.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be.
I'm getting old.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
But welcome to
But we're all old, I guess.
Yeah, well, fair enough. But we've got some pretty exciting announcements today.
Yeah, we do.
We've got some stuff about
Azure data centers.
Yep.
Small ones.
Yep. Itty bitty.
Yeah, they're small.
Then we've got some stuff about Redis.
Yes.
Some redundancy announcement.
We've got a little bit more about
confidential computing.
So
this is kind of a three-letter agency kind of thing.
Yes, it is.
Coming from Mr.
Rasinovich himself.
Then we've also got something from Azure
Advisor.
So that's kind of a nice little
tidbit there.
We'll kind of cover that.
There is also
this is not an announcement,
but
a little bit of
best practices.
Yeah, it's a good read about
Azure DevOps.
Absolutely.
And then the very last thing is an article about this guy I know, and he's doing some stuff. So we'll talk about this person who's doing some things.
Love it.
This person is Rick. So we'll talk about it.
I got to update my profile pic though. It's really getting out of date.
Oh, I'm looking here. Oh, Rick. You look so young. You look.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
It's okay
to look young.
Everybody wants
to look young.
Yeah. Let's talk data centers.
Let's talk data centers.
So
I'm going to share this.
There we go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
So as everybody knows, we have 61 plus regions worldwide, right?
Yep.
But we have areas that we can't quite get to.
That's right.
For a variety of reasons.
Like this picture we're looking at here.
I don't know. Looks like it's
the edge of a forest or something.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
So basically, today's announcement. We're introducing the Microsoft Azure Modular Data Center. Okay, so basically, we've created this thing called MDC for customers. Specifically for customers, I should say, right? So if you've got some challenging environments, you've got a remote area, you need some hybrid capabilities, this is similar to Azure Stack, I think, in a lot of respects. But we've taken it to a whole new level.
Yes. It's more. Well, I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the picture. It's I don't know this thing.
Shipping container.
I was going to say it looks like a shipping container.
I bet it is.
With some holes in very strategic places.
Yeah.
And the title is Azure where you need it.
Yes.
Which is cool.
It's very cool. But interestingly enough, now take this data center that you may deploy remotely someplace, and then couple that with our Azure Space offerings, right? With our satellite connectivity and some of the other things. And guess what? You can now pretty much hook this thing up and be on the essentially Azure backplane anywhere in the world.
That's right. This allows you to take wherever you need to have it. I'm assuming you have to have some power. But it looks like it has cooling. So it doesn't look like it needs water. But because the Azure data center uses a lot of water, adiabatic cooling, kind of like a swamp box that you might see somewhere like Arizona, where they just run water across a grate, blow air through it. But the evaporation takes care of it. But I mean, it says the satellite option you're talking about. Like you don't necessarily have to have a cable. Like it can be satellite connected. So you could put it maybe on a boat. Like if you needed something that big or in a remote location, whatever.
So I have to assume again, when I look at some of the potential scenarios, right? So you've got mobile command centers, humanitarian assistance, military mission needs, mineral exploration, and other use cases. Right. So, I look at this and I think, boy, I wonder if this was born out of the JEDI contract or some of the work that we're doing with the military.
Well, it says MDC units are already in early use with defense and private sector organizations. So I wonder who this defense organization is.
But the cool thing about that, though, is it's not uncommon to see work done either on behalf of or directly for the military to make its way into the public sector, right? We've seen a lot of advancements, a lot of innovation come out of work that was necessitated by the military, the Department of Defense, and actually make its way into the publip sector. And we'll talk about another one of those types of things down the road here a little bit in this conversation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, this is kind of like something that customers have been asking about this for since the beginning. Like they were like, love Azure. Can you get me a box I can drag to the back of my building and just do that instead? And we tried. I think there was some early previews and it really worked very well. I guess I didn't have a customer that tried it, but now we have it. It's available. And really, you just need to hook it up to power and get some internet to it, and you can get started. This is crazy, but really awesome.
It really is. So we do have some early adopters that are vetting out the I'll call it this massive appliance or this MDC. It's ready to go, right? You drop it on a flatbed trailer, a big one.
Yes.
And basically, if you have interest or if it's something that you're looking at possibly pursuing, you simply have to contact your Microsoft rep, and we'll make sure we get you hooked up with the right people to have a conversation about leveraging one of these MDC units.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Pretty cool stuff. So give it a shot. Take a look. See what you think. Let us know. Reach out to Microsoft. Okay.
Please.
All right.
Everywhere.
That's right. Even in remote locations. Okay, so this next announcement is about Azure Cache for Redis. Azure Cache for Redis is a managed Redis offering. So if you're using Redis today and you don't want to manage it anymore, you can have Microsoft do it for you. You can spin it up in the portal. It's Redis. It's ready to go. It is actually Redis Cache. Not something else. You can spin it up and use it.
Exactly. Now, if you've never used it before, Redis Cache is for...
let's see. Key value cache.
Data storage, right? Yeah. So essentially what we're doing with Redis Cache. And so I think we have to, so it's you're caching your information close to your compute, right? So if you've got, say, for example, a website, or if you've got something going on and you've got some highly frequently accessed data that may or may not be changing relatively not very often, one of the best things you can do is cache that information close to the compute, close to the endpoint, and have it go against that cached information as opposed to going all the way back and retrieving it, say, from a database, right?
That's right.
And one of the nice things about this is we have what's called the distributed cache, which means you can actually share this cache or distribute it across multiple compute instances. So whether it's a virtual machine, whether it's Azure web apps, websites, or whatever the consuming application is, you can distribute it across them, and then you share this cache, which is kind of a cool concept, right?
That's right.
Now, and then so the zone redundancy piece, right, is most of you may or may not know that we've got this concept called availability zones in Azure. So what we do is every Azure region is comprised of 2 to n data centers, right? We have redundancy, we've got all that stuff built in. Well, what we do is each one of those data centers effectively becomes a different zone. So if you want a highly available application, if you want something that, because we do deploy things in triplicate, as everybody knows, but this actually spreads it across data centers. So we're not just spreading it across racks, right, or server, fault zones and update domains. We're actually, or fault domains and update domains. We're actually spreading this across multiple data centers. So you may have your secondary and your tertiary instance in literally physically different data centers.
That's right.
So now
That's
what's
right.
happening here is, as we deploy the cache storage backend in triplicate, we're actually spreading that across those availability zones, just like our other technologies, to give you that super high availability that you've come to expect with availability zones.
That's right. That's right. So you'll notice here that the little picture here that we kind of are showing, one example here, a region with availability zones and these two VMs which run Redis in the same availability zone. But now this is the new world where one of them can run in a different availability zone. And I think the definition of availability zone is different power.
Yes.
And different internet I think as well.
Yep, I think all three have to be separate. So separate power, separate cooling, and data.
That's right. And the other thing is that sometimes this is a misunderstood concept. People are kind of sometimes they hope these availability zones are far enough apart that they can a single. It's not DR. That's not what this is. These are guaranteed to be close together. Actually, we guarantee that they're close. So in other words, this scenario, this replication, we guarantee that it works. And to guarantee that it works, they have to be close. And sometimes they're even just like literally across the street, or they're separated by a firewall, and they're in the same literal building. They're two facilities because of the firewall in between. So but it gives you some of that redundancy against a whole facility outage. So,
yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing about that is with Azure Cache for Redis, basically. Without the availability zone, you get a 99.9% service level agreement. Okay, with zone redundancy, it takes it from 99.9 to 99.95. We're adding that extra kind of digit in the end there to get you some just more peace of mind, more comfort, and more high availability service level acknowledgement.
Yeah, we're willing to back that new architecture with a higher SLA. So everybody likes an SLA. SLAs are good.
Yeah, I think that the critical component with the service level agreement, though, is we agree to try our best to keep this up for this amount of time. But if we don't, it's financially backed, so we're going to give you a credit.
That's right.
The mistake I think a lot of people make is that they see a service level agreement and they treat it like it's a guarantee. And I just want clarity there. It's not a guarantee, but it is absolutely, we are going to do everything in our power to ensure that we either achieve it or surpass it.
That's right. So this is good stuff. If you're using Redis, you need that extra availability guarantee by having it distributed across availability zones. Go do that. Now, one more thing. Availability zones are not everywhere. So go check the regions. I would say that we're probably in a third of the regions. So some of these regions predate this architecture. So we're continuing to retrofit. There's actually a pretty big effort going on to retrofit other regions. To retrofit these regions to include availability zones. So go check and see the regions before you go. You'll need that. That'll be a requirement.
Yep, I love it.
Okay.
So we can't quite not talk about stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this a little secret stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, that seems to be the genesis of and let's be okay. So I can joke about this Mark Russinovich announcement and this commitment that we're making with Intel, right? So with Azure and Intel, we are committing to delivering the next generation of confidential computing, right? So this isn't new. Right? The thing I want people to understand, this is not a new thing. It's just a next-gen thing. So we've already been working with Intel to create this confidential computing enclaves, right? And if you use the Intel, it's called the Software Guard Extensions, the SGX, basically framework, or for lack of a better word, SDK. Effectively, it gives you this ability to run these workloads. If you're doing encryption at processing. So you've got encrypted at rest. You've got encrypted in flight. This basically
on the wire, encrypted in flight, on the wire. That's right.
This gives you encrypted while processing. Now, that doesn't mean the data stays encrypted. It means that it gets put into a trusted enclave and keeps it away from prying eyes.
Yeah, right.
So the whole process becomes encrypted, not just the data.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it really completes that cycle of encryption as far as normally you kind of think about the weak spot is when the data has landed and is being processed, and we're trying to address that weak spot or that last part of the last leg of this race to have protection all the way across. And so we've had sort of these enclave processors in Azure for a year and a half.
It's been a while.
Something like that.
Yeah,
it's been a little while. But we're going to be an early adopter of the third generation Intel Xeon platform code. Codename Ice Lake. So this is kind of the next thing we're saying. We're going to go back to Intel. We're going to keep doing this. We see the value in it. So
well, and here's the cool thing. So basically, you can develop. So we have these DCSV2 virtual machines, which are the confidential compute in SKUs, right? And you can use the Open Enclave SDK if you want to work with these machines specifically. Or another cool place where you can actually start doing this is you can use Kubernetes. You can wrap Kubernetes applications to create confidential containers. That's cool.
What?
Yes. So you can. So with the help of, we partnered with companies like, Anjuna, Fortanix, Scone, or you can use an open source solution like Graphene or Oclam, right? We've got these partnerships already where you can actually create confidential containers, which is super exciting. So we've got this confidential inference beta project that you can pull down on GitHub. You can secure IoT containers with Azure IoT on the edge, right? With these enclaves. This is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much going on here. This kind of harkens back, like you said, a little bit to the three-letter agency that signed a very large public engagement with Azure. So we're going to continue to focus on security, focus on every single way that we can secure data at rest and during process. We're going to continue to do it.
And let's be honest though, regardless of who we're doing this for, everybody benefits.
That's right. I
mean, imagine, say, gosh, I don't know. I'll just pick a number. I'm not saying that we're committing to this, but imagine 5 years from now when literally nothing ever becomes decrypted until it hits the eyes of the consumer.
That's right.
That's where and we can still do it with performance, with reliability, with all those other things that we need to do to really keep our things away from prying eyes like state-sponsored hacking groups like. Or just Black Hat, anybody who wants to do nefarious things, this makes it, I'll say, exponentially harder.
Yeah. Very hard to get into the stuff. We're going to continue to do everything we can. So keep your eye out for the stuff. And there's a nice video from Mark to hear from Mark. So if you're watching and want to get a little more information, check out the video from Mark.
Rasinovich.
That's right. We all know who Mark is. If you just say Mark.
Mark Garner? We're hearing from Mark Garner?
No. You're hearing from Mr. Rasinovich himself. He's awesome.
The legend. I love
That's right.
Oh, it's fantastic.
All right. Okay. So,
who doesn't like gamification?
Gamification is awesome. You know what I think? Right. But I don't think that people use probably Azure Advisor as much as they could.
No, I agree.
And we've had a secure score for a while. So this is kind of a one single number that helps you understand our understanding of your security score and everything you do to be more secure adds to your security score. But now we're going to have advisor score. So in other words, how much progress are you making to the ultimate optimized piece of infrastructure? And we're going to track that over time so you can see an ever-increasing optimization.
So the cool thing I like about the Azure Advisor score is it's not just based on best practices specifically to Azure Advisor, right? Which is cool in and of itself, is actually cool. But we also couple that with the Microsoft Azure Well-Architected Framework, or the WAF. You'll hear us refer to that, as the WAF, not to be confused with Web Application Firewall.
Right. That's something else.
But to me, this is critical because a well-architected framework is something we all strive for when we're building applications. But we all know that as companies mature in their adoption of the cloud, groups will kind of, and I don't mean to, saying that they go rogue is the wrong thing to say, but groups will go off on their own and they will build something.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, unless you have a very formalized vetting process and you've got a permit to build and permit to operate, like one of my customers does, sometimes it's hard to ensure that they're following those well-architected framework patterns and practices, right?
That's right.
This is going to give you an opportunity. It's going to give you visibility to see how well things are adhering to that framework.
That's right. So
cool.
Yeah, and so it's all against best practices. And so it's from 0 to 100.
Just like our security one.
Yeah,
right?
And also there's going to be an aggregate, but also eventually we'll have costs coming soon. Reliability, operational excellence, and performance. So in other words, if you have some VMs that are yeah, that's right. If you have a VM that's running cold, right? So in other words, if it's only running at 5% capacity all the time, and wasting the other 95, that will actually bring your score down just a little bit. So those are good. So that way you know how you're doing. And so you'll be able to kind of track that. So go and review your Azure score, your advisor score today. Go check it out. See what it says. See how you're doing.
And don't frown if it's low. Use it as an opportunity to create a benchmark or a bar, and then go ahead and look at how you're going to raise that bar.
Yeah, and if you are the person responsible for raising the bar, then go and brag about the fact that your advisor score went up. This is an opportunity for people to brag about the things they've been able to accomplish. Talk about how they've improved the operational excellence, and you have the reporting to show that you've done it. It's a really great opportunity. It's a really great opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think success begets more success in this type of scenario, right? As you become more successful with these types of metrics, you're going to see, I think, other groups within your organization. If you're somebody that's spearheading this effort, you're going to see other groups now want to achieve that same level, right? You're holding now other groups to a higher standard.
That's right.
That everybody. So it's a rising tide lifts all boats type of scenario.
That's exactly right. So excellent stuff. Little gamification. Go get your score today. I can't even imagine what mine looks like. Although I because I tend to make stuff and then leave it out there because I can get on to the next thing. So I'm sure I could probably get a little better.
So what I've started doing as a just kind of try to create a reproducible pattern is when I do demo, when I do sample, when I do exploratory surgery, anything I do in Azure, I check it into a GitHub repo. So whether it's through Azure DevOps or whether it's in GitHub specifically, I will take that because I know I don't necessarily want to keep it there in perpetuity, but I also know that it may resurface at some point, and I want the ability to go back and go, oh yeah, that's right. I did that thing where I did hybrid integrated Azure web apps with a VNet and then used a private link endpoint for a database, Azure SQL database, turn off public access to it, provision a private zone, and showed how it worked from the genesis of the data or request from the web app to the database.
That's exactly
I don't necessarily want to keep that out there and running, but I want to be able to go redeploy it if I have to show that same thing. So I've gotten in the habit of tearing things down, but then making sure that I have what I need to reproduce it in Azure DevOps or GitHub.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I've kind of switched to using GitHub for everything that I do. And that way I can keep the code, point people at it if I ever need to.
Exactly. It's a great place to share your, hey, look at this this great work you did. Let's go share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, moving on. Okay. So let me just the view here. All right.
Speaking of DevOps,
that was a fantastic unintentional segue. We can take credit for it. Okay. So let's see here. What sort of DevOps practices do we need to have resilient DevOps. I'm kind of going in circles here. You know what I mean. Take it away, Rick.
So look, it's one thing to to put something into a repo, right? It's another thing to put thing in a repo that you can do continuous integration. It's another thing to put it into a repo where you get continuous integration and then you have release pipelines, right? When we talk about DevOps, it's almost like we almost always assume we're talking about continuous integration and continuous deployment when we talk about DevOps, right? But that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Now, having said that, basically, this particular blog post it covers enabling resilient DevOps practices, right? So when you go from code to cloud, when you're automating that, these practices and all this stuff, it can't be fragile. It can't be, it can't be a situation where you have to stand on one leg and you got to close one eye and touch your nose for it to work. These things have to be, they have to be defined to have, first of all, take your infrastructure and deploy it as code.
That's right.
Deploy your ARM templates to lay down, or I'll use the word Terraform.
That's right.
Which I love with the HashiCorp product, but in this context, I'll just say you want to Terraform that environment, right?
Right.
And this is where I've been starting with most of my customers is build a resource group with all your assets or your resources in it.
That's right.
And then let's walk backwards from there.
Yep.
Let's export those ARM templates. Let's do all that stuff. So effectively what it talks about doing is and building Azure machines, right, for immutable infrastructure. You've heard us talk about that probably ad nauseum on this podcast about immutable infrastructure and item potency and all those other concepts, right? So building the VM. So you start with that infrastructure, you build your VMs and your resources that, you build them immutable. Obviously, Kubernetes changes can be tracked with commits and pushes, it's, so it talks about all these best practices like scan container images, right? You shouldn't just be putting things up into a container registry and not have the images scanned for things like do credential scanning, look for nefarious bad actors, all that stuff, right?
That's right.
You should be doing all this stuff. So basically, what this is doing is this is giving you a baseline that you can compare your DevOps process.
That's right.
With kind of what we would say best practices.
That's right. And I actually wanted to show one thing here. So I actually have a little demo here. I just wanted to show this real quick. This is just really you were talking about exporting your ARM templates, and I just wanted everybody to know whenever you go to the Azure portal and you export an ARM template, there is a checkbox. It's right here. And it says include parameters. And what this does is this turns. So you'll notice here that this has all kinds of parameters in it to start with. Right. And then here's the ARM template resources. But you can also exclude the parameters. And what this does is it generates your template with all of the automatic parameters that the Azure portal assumes you might want. And so what you end up with is maybe a lot easier of a template to read. So whenever you get started doing this, you want to try it out. Just remember, if you don't like having all the parameters, you can just click that box and it won't come out with the parameters.
Yeah,
and you can see here now there's no parameters, no variables, and you can see now this ARM template is a lot easier to read as far as trying to figure out what it has in it and how it works. So just keep that in mind.
What we're doing is we're hard coding it.
That's right. That's hard coding everything exactly the way it is,
and that's okay. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying we're actually embedding like names and specific values into the template.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes I find that's actually an easier place to start from. So as you get started going through these sort of three or four main points, manage your Azure policy as code. Try that. Do your Azure policy code. Deploy your ARM templates as infrastructure. Use the ARM templates as infrastructure. Use Azure Virtual Machine images. These are all the list of things, Kubernetes changes from Azure portal to GitHub commits. You can actually figure the stuff out. These are a list of things you can go do today to increase your DevOps practices.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a great article. I mean, I like what it talks about baselining. It talks about, really kind of increasing your posture in regards to resilient, practices and patterns that you should be following. when you go, because the world is now code-based, right? It's software-defined splat.
Yep.
And so the more and more you hear that, the more and more you buy into that, the more and more you do it, the more and more you need to have these resilient practices around that software as splat.
Yeah. So go check it out. Go check it out. Sometimes ARM templates, I think a lot of people see them as something that they'll do eventually, something that's really hard to do. But actually, it's really very straightforward. You can get started a little bit deploying a GitHub action or a DevOps pipeline, Azure DevOps pipeline, or Jenkins, whatever. It doesn't really matter actually.
It's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. You gotta try it. Give it a shot. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Okay. So there's this guy I know. And he's doing a webinar series. Look at this young guy. Who is that? Look at that.
I know, right? Who is that kid?
Yeah.
That picture was probably taken, let's see. Well, I know for a fact when it was taken. It was taken 10 years ago because...
Are you serious?
That was when we were celebrating the addition to our family when Lainey came home and everything was finalized. That was the picture that was taken as a family picture. So that's 10 years old.
Wow,
so that was 37.
Wow, Rick, you just look so young and spry.
Know, right? It's great.
You look great. You look marvelous. And so, Rick, tell us what this is. What's happening here?
So I'm going to be partnering with Thomson Reuters, and we are going to be talking about. They're doing a series of 4 webinars. Okay, so and it's all basically related to legal tech. So the first 2 webinars are going to be this particular one is around not all cloud solutions are created equal. So picking a cloud provider like Microsoft's Azure and picking a SaaS provider like Thomson Reuters and their 3E legal product, and how we partner together and things you should look for and what some of the benefits of how we've done it together, how they benefit the end customer. So it's going to be, I'm excited about it. It's going to be a great talk. We'll be talking, the next webinar I believe is the top 10 things you should think about as you're thinking about migrating to the cloud. So there's a lot of legal firms that still haven't quite made the jump to cloud, whether it's O365 or whether it's Azure or whatever it is, Dynamics. So that'll be, and then the last 2 are going to be really interesting from a legal perspective because members from CELA, including some of our very high-level members.
Wait. What is CELA? Hold on. You're going to have to
unpack that. For those of you that don't know, CELA is basically Microsoft's legal.
There we go.
So it's our legal
department.
Yep, it's our attorneys, and we've got some really, really amazing speakers. I've had an opportunity to actually work with them on some partner engagements where we've brought in CELA to talk about how we might use certain products or how they've done their own digital transformation as a legal entity. So it's really, really kind of cool. In a non-Azure way. If I had to listen to anything that wasn't related to Azure, it would be these guys.
Well, this is something that I always tend to say. We actually work in the business, and so to hear how we use technology and to hear how the legal department uses technology and how they really get something out of it, because that is kind of what this is all about. It's not about building stuff for our own gratification. It's actually building stuff that delivers business value. And so it's great to hear. So this is going to be when Rick go back over the details here. Remind me.
So I'm actually going to be tweeting this out via our Azure Flash News Twitter account. But if you're interested, it's on October 29th. It's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time or 3 p.m. GMT. And we'll be actually doing 2 sessions. So I'll put the link out there. And when that link is out there, you'll see we'll be doing one for UK time. And there will be one for Central Standard Time.
I was actually looking at that thinking 1 p.m. is not 3 p.m. GMT. That doesn't work. What that means is you're doing it earlier in the morning UK time. Okay, that makes sense. So 2 separate sessions. And come if you can. The registration link is right here, right?
Yeah. And I'll be, like I said, I'll be tweeting that out right after this conversation.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. That's awesome, Rick. We'll try and come and support you there.
Love it.
That's great. I think is there anything else we mentioned today? I think that's it.
No, I think we are good to go.
All right. Well. First of all, thank everybody for coming. If you haven't had a chance, we finally got to 100 subscribers. Rick, you know what that means? We get name our channel or something like that. I'll have to go do that.
Yeah,
we get like a special. Yeah, there's a perk. And we're also Twitter. We're also coming up on a milestone there.
Yes, we are. So we are just about eight subscribers shy of having 300 Twitter followers. So if you're not following or if you're considering following, please do. We'd love to have you around, have you contribute, have you comment on our Twitter feed, and let us know how we can make things better.
That's right. So, Rick, if people want to catch you after the show, where can they find you?
Absolutely. They can find me at rick@microsoft.com. is my primary email address. Or, of course, we can be reached. I monitor the Twitter feed, so at Azure Flash News. Feel free to tweet out or direct message us, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can.
Yep, and if you want to find me, you can catch me on Twitter at Garner, or you can email me Microsoft.com. Either one is fine. And so I guess episode 99 is a wrap. Next time, the big 100.
That's right.
Celebrated. I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll
I smell another giveaway.
Yeah. So come to the show, and then maybe we'll say the magic word during the show. The tweet. What's the magic word?
I was going to say Pee-wee's Playhouse.
That's the word of the day. And so we'll have a word of the day, and the first person to tweet the word of the day back at Azure Flash News wins a prize. So if you want to be first, you'll have to watch live.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, well, that's a wrap. Thank you everybody for coming. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching the show. And
yep. No, thanks everybody. We appreciate, like you said, without you, we don't have a show. So we look forward to chatting with you same time, roughly same place, roughly same time next week.
Yeah.
But until then, please, by all means, keep your feet on the ground, keep your masked face, and your head and your fingers on the keyboard and your head in the clouds.
That's right. Thanks everybody. Have a good afternoon. Good evening. See ya.